Hey there and welcome. Today, we're jumping right into a question that's kind of mind-bending when you really think about it. How did these incredible ancient civilizations manage to thrive in some of the hottest places on Earth without a single air conditioner?
I mean, seriously, it's a genuine head-scratcher, right? We're talking about the people who built the pyramids, who engineered the aqueducts. These are feats of engineering that still blow our minds today. So what was stopping them from inventing something as seemingly simple as a cool breeze on a hot day?
Just try to put yourself there for a second. Imagine you're standing right in the heart of the Roman Forum. It's August. The sun is just beating down, the heat is radiating off all that marble, and the air is so thick and still you can practically taste it.
And there's nothing. No electric fan whirring in a corner, no hum of an AC unit, absolutely zero escape from that oppressive, crushing heat. So how did they even survive, let alone build one of the greatest empires in history?
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with that burning question, then we'll look at the absolutely brilliant ways they did stay cool. After that, we'll uncover the missing links, the key pieces of the puzzle they just didn't have. Then we'll see how all that ancient wisdom is making a comeback, and we'll wrap it all up with a really important lesson for our own future.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the burning question.
So, the first thing you have to understand is this is not a story about ancient people lacking creativity. Far from it. This is a story about science, about having the right resources, and honestly, just about timing. They were missing a few crucial ingredients.
Which brings us to our next part. Let's explore just how incredibly clever these ancient architects and engineers really were. Turns out, they were passive cooling geniuses.
And you can really see three distinct but equally brilliant approaches here. You have the Romans, who were absolute masters of using thermal mass and water. Then the Egyptians, who perfected simple but super effective evaporative cooling. And then you have the Persians, who literally engineered the wind itself with their incredible wind towers.
So in Rome, you see those massive, thick stone walls? They weren't just for show. They basically acted like thermal batteries. They'd soak up the sun's heat all day and then slowly release it during the cooler night. Their homes were designed with these open inner courtyards to keep air flowing. And their legendary aqueducts, they did way more than provide drinking water. They fed countless public fountains that would fill the air with a fine, cooling mist.
Now, out in the desert, this kind of thing was a matter of survival. The Egyptians had a genius trick. They'd hang wet reeds in their windows. Any breeze that came through was instantly cooled by evaporation. Simple, right? But the Persians, wow, they took it to a whole other level. They built these tall towers called bodgir that would catch breezes high above the city. Then that air would get funneled down, often over cool underground water channels called qanats. This created a seriously sophisticated and effective natural air conditioning system. We're talking thousands of years ahead of its time.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, if they were so brilliant, what held them back? What were the missing pieces that stopped them from taking that next big leap to a real mechanical air conditioner?
Well, it really all boils down to three huge missing pieces of the puzzle. They needed a stable energy source, they needed the right kind of materials to handle high pressure, and maybe most critically, they needed the actual scientific knowledge to understand what they were trying to do.
First up, energy. A mechanical cooling cycle needs constant, steady power to work. The ancients had fire, wind, and water power, sure, but those sources are unreliable, they're inconsistent. They didn't have anything like a steam engine or an electrical grid that could provide that continuous juice.
Next was a materials problem. Modern air conditioning works by compressing a gas under incredibly high pressure until it turns into a liquid. Roman pipes, made of lead and copper, were great for moving water around. But if you tried to put that kind of pressure on them, they would have burst instantly. They simply didn't have the strong, perfectly sealed steel needed for the job.
But honestly, the biggest missing link was the instruction manual. To invent mechanical air conditioning, you first have to understand the science of thermodynamics. The rules for how heat, energy, and pressure all relate to each other. These concepts just weren't fully understood until the scientific revolution, hundreds and hundreds of years later.
But what's so fascinating is that this ancient wisdom, this knowledge born purely from necessity, is now making a powerful comeback in our modern world. It's amazing. Some of the smartest green architects today are looking back to these ancient principles to design sustainable, energy-efficient buildings. They're using thick, insulated walls, light-reflecting materials, courtyards that promote airflow. They're even building modern versions of those Persian wind towers. It's all coming full circle. And here's the profound difference, right? The ancients worked with nature. Their methods used zero electricity. They produced zero greenhouse gas emissions. What do? We often try to beat nature. We seal ourselves in boxes and use massive amounts of energy to fight the heat, which, ironically, just contributes to a warming planet. Their solutions were perfectly sustainable.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway from this whole journey through time? What's the lesson for us today?
I think it's this. While the Romans and Egyptians didn't have chemical refrigerants or electric mowers, they had something just as powerful. They had a deep understanding of their environment, they had incredible adaptability, and they had this unyielding will to not just survive, but to truly thrive in even the harshest climates.
So the next time you feel that blast of cool air, just remember the thousands of years of human ingenuity it represents. It's a powerful reminder that this quest for comfort is ancient, and it suggests that maybe, just maybe, the most sustainable solutions for our future won't come from just more powerful machines, but from blending that timeless wisdom